If you think eating too much sugar directly causes diabetes, you're not alone. A staggering 74% of people believe this myth, according to recent health surveys. But here's the shocking truth. Sugar consumption alone doesn't cause type 2 diabetes. In fact, some of the highest sugar-consuming countries have relatively low diabetes rates, while nations with moderate sugar intake are seeing diabetes epidemics. This misconception isn't just wrong, it's preventing millions from understanding the real risk factors that could save their lives. Before we dive into the real science, drop a comment below with your biggest health myth you've always wondered about. Maybe it's something your grandmother swore by, or a trend you've seen all over social media. And if you're ready to separate health facts from fiction, hit that subscribe button because we're about to debunk one of the most widespread medical myths of our time. So where did this sugar diabetes connection even come from? The story starts in the 1970s when the sugar industry was under fire. Heart disease rates were climbing, and researchers were pointing fingers at both sugar and fat. But here's where it gets interesting. The sugar industry funded studies that shifted blame away from sugar and onto fat for heart disease. During this same period, doctors noticed that diabetic patients had high blood sugar levels. It seemed logical. High blood sugar in diabetics must mean sugar causes diabetes, right? This oversimplified connection stuck in public consciousness like glue. Fast forward to the social media age, and this myth got supercharged. Wellness influencers started claiming that cutting sugar would prevent diabetes. Weight loss accounts posted before and after photos crediting sugar elimination. And suddenly, everyone from fitness gurus to concerned relatives was sharing posts about toxic sugar causing diabetes. The truth is, this myth persisted because it felt intuitive. Sugar makes blood sugar go up. Diabetics have high blood sugar, therefore sugar must cause diabetes. It's simple, memorable, and unfortunately wrong. Let's look at what actual peer-reviewed research tells us. The first major study that challenged this myth was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2013. Researchers followed over 350,000 people across multiple countries for nearly a decade. Their finding? Direct sugar intake had virtually no correlation with type 2 diabetes development when controlling for other factors. But here's what did matter: overall caloric intake, physical activity levels, and body composition. The study found that people could consume relatively high amounts of sugar and maintain low diabetes risk if they stayed within healthy weight ranges and remained physically active. A second groundbreaking study from Harvard School of Public Health in 2014 followed 200,000 healthcare professionals for 30 years. The researchers discovered something fascinating. The countries with the highest per capita sugar consumption, like Australia and Denmark, had some of the lowest diabetes rates globally. Meanwhile, countries with moderate sugar intake but high rates of obesity and sedentary lifestyles showed much higher diabetes prevalence. The third piece of crucial evidence comes from intervention studies. In 2019, researchers at Stanford Medical School took people with prediabetes and divided them into 3 groups. One eliminated sugar completely, one reduced calories but kept moderate sugar intake, and one made no dietary changes. After 12 months, the calorie reduction group with moderate sugar intake showed the most significant improvement in insulin sensitivity, while the sugar elimination group showed minimal changes compared to the control group. What these studies reveal is that diabetes development is primarily driven by insulin resistance, which develops when cells become less responsive to insulin over time. This insulin resistance is most strongly linked to excess body fat, particularly visceral fat around organs, chronic inflammation from poor overall diet quality, and lack of physical activity, not sugar consumption alone. The mechanism works like this. When someone consistently overeats any type of food, whether it's sugar, refined carbs, healthy fats, or even protein, the excess calories get stored as fat. As fat tissue accumulates, especially around the midsection, it releases inflammatory compounds that interfere with insulin function. Meanwhile, a sedentary lifestyle means muscles aren't regularly using glucose for energy, making them less sensitive to insulin signals. Despite the science, millions of people swear that cutting sugar cured their prediabetes or dramatically improved their health. So what's really happening here? First, there's the weight loss factor. When people eliminate sugar, they often cut out high-calorie processed foods like sodas, candy, baked goods, and desserts. This caloric reduction leads to weight loss, and weight loss absolutely does improve insulin sensitivity and reduce diabetes risk. But it's the weight loss and overall dietary improvement doing the heavy lifting, not specifically the absence of sugar. Second, there's a powerful placebo effect at play. When someone believes strongly that avoiding sugar will transform their health, they often become more health conscious overall. They start reading food labels, making better meal choices, perhaps exercising more and paying closer attention to their body. These comprehensive lifestyle changes create real health improvements that get attributed solely to sugar elimination. Third, testimonials and success stories spread like wildfire on social media. When someone posts about reversing prediabetes by quitting sugar, it gets shared thousands of times. But these posts rarely mention the person also lost 30 pounds, started walking daily, improved their sleep, and reduced stress. The complex reality gets simplified into sugar bad, no sugar good. There's also what researchers call the health halo effect. Once people eliminate sugar, they often feel justified in making other positive changes because they've already committed to being healthy. This creates a cascade of beneficial behaviors that all contribute to better metabolic health. Believing this myth isn't just harmless misinformation, it can actually be dangerous. Here's why. The biggest risk is creating a false sense of security. People who maintain normal weight might think they're immune to diabetes because they don't eat much sugar, while ignoring other major risk factors like family history, age, ethnicity, and overall lifestyle patterns. This can delay important preventive measures and regular health screenings. On the flip side, this myth can trigger unnecessary fear and restrictive eating behaviors. Some people develop such an intense fear of sugar that they eliminate fruits, dairy, and other nutritious foods that naturally contain sugars. This can lead to nutrient deficiencies and an unhealthy relationship with food. There's also the problem of misallocated effort. When people focus exclusively on eliminating sugar, they might ignore more impactful changes like increasing physical activity, improving sleep quality, managing stress, or addressing other dietary factors that have stronger connections to diabetes risk. Perhaps most concerning is how this myth can worsen health anxiety and create food guilt. The fear of developing diabetes can become so overwhelming that people develop orthorexic tendencies, obsessing over every gram of sugar while missing the bigger picture of overall health and well-being. So, if avoiding sugar isn't the magic bullet, what does actually work for diabetes prevention? The evidence points to several key strategies that are far more effective. Weight management stands out as the single most important factor. Maintaining a healthy body weight, regardless of how much sugar someone consumes, reduces diabetes risk by up to 80% according to major longitudinal studies. This doesn't mean extreme dieting or rapid weight loss, but rather achieving and maintaining a weight where the body functions optimally. Regular physical activity is equally crucial, and here's why. Muscle tissue is like a glucose sponge. When muscles contract during exercise, they pull glucose from the bloodstream without needing insulin. This effect lasts for hours after exercise ends. Just 150 minutes of moderate activity per week, that's about 20 minutes daily, can reduce diabetes risk by 40% regardless of dietary sugar intake. Diet quality matters more than any single nutrient. Instead of fixating on sugar elimination, focus on eating patterns that emphasize whole foods, vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. The Mediterranean diet, which includes moderate amounts of natural sugars from fruits and even small amounts of honey, consistently shows protective effects against diabetes in research studies. Sleep optimization is a game changer that most people overlook. Poor sleep disrupts hormones that regulate blood sugar, including insulin, cortisol, and growth hormone. People who consistently get 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep have significantly lower diabetes risk than those who sleep less than 6 hours or more than 9 hours nightly. Stress management also plays a critical role. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, which directly interferes with insulin function and promotes abdominal fat storage. Effective stress reduction through meditation, deep breathing, social connection, or enjoyable hobbies can improve insulin sensitivity as much as dietary changes. Regular health monitoring is essential, especially for those with risk factors like family history, age over 45, or certain ethnic backgrounds. Early detection of prediabetes allows for intervention before full diabetes develops, and this monitoring is far more valuable than any specific dietary restriction. Finally, focusing on anti-inflammatory foods and lifestyle factors can address one of the root causes of insulin resistance. Chronic inflammation interferes with insulin signaling, so including omega-3 fatty acids, colorful vegetables, herbs and spices, and avoiding highly processed foods can support healthy insulin function. The takeaway here isn't that sugar is health food or that unlimited consumption is fine. Moderation in all things remains wise, but understanding that diabetes prevention is about comprehensive lifestyle factors rather than sugar avoidance can free people from unnecessary fear while directing their energy towards strategies that actually work. The next time someone tells you that sugar causes diabetes, you'll know the real story. Diabetes prevention is about maintaining healthy weight, staying active, eating quality foods, getting good sleep, and managing stress. These evidence-based approaches are not only more effective than sugar elimination, they're also more sustainable and enjoyable long-term. Remember, health is rarely about one single factor or magic bullet solution. It's about the complex interplay of multiple lifestyle factors working together over time. Focus on the big picture, and your body will thank you for it. If this video helped clear up some confusion about diabetes and sugar, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from this information. And let us know in the comments what health myth you'd like us to tackle next, because separating fact from fiction is what evidence-based health is all about.